Hello guys, trending right now on Arise TV is an evaluation by Omotayo Omotosho Mrs. Member of Federal Republic on the performance of our President Bola Tinubu from the beginning of the year January to December 2024. She's evaluating to know if he has really made progress or if there are things that he needs to do that has not been done. If you're new to my channel, you're welcome. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much and watch to the end.
The giant of Africa is still in a slumber. However, since transparency and accountability are essential ingredients for good governance, we will be reviewing the state of the nation of Nigeria in the year 2024 and what to expect ahead of 2025. Joining us now on this show is Mrs. Omotayo Omotosho, MFR, member of the Federal Republic, former Director General, Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation, veteran TV broadcaster, and a culture and tourism consultant. Madam, good morning.
Good morning.
You for joining us on the morning show.
Morning, my brother Ruben. Morning, Rufai.
Morning. Nice to have you on the show.
Basically, we're looking back, we're looking forward. Not necessarily in anger. Her husband wrote a book says, you're looking back in anger. But we just want to be objective. When you look back at the year 2024, what do you see? When you look forward to the year 2025, what do you expect? And then, of course, apart from governance issues, can you also talk about the tourism sector, which is your main area? So tourism, governance, looking back, looking
front. Thank you so much, my brother Ruben. So good to see you, my people.
Thank you.
I must be very, very sincere with us. Let me start with looking back. I'll come to tourism at the later end. Let me start with looking back holistically. What we lack in Nigeria is genuine love for one another. Genuine love for one another. We know that the hardship is real. We know that we're coming from a, how would I put it now, succession of history and governance that some of our leaders never did what they're supposed to do. And so looking back till when the present administration came into being, the situation already was in a bad state. I should know because I worked in and out of government like you, my brother Ruben, and now we're in the private sector. But a lot of people would say, oh, ma'am, before Bola Tinubu got there, we were exchanging dollar for 750. Now it is 1,600, 1,007, 1,005. And yet you are saying, oh, things will get better. What do you mean by that, ma'am? They ask me. And what I readily tell them is the fact that, yes, we were exchanging for 750 at that time. But do you know how much money was stolen from the system when we were exchanging 750 at the black market and CBN was selling at 350? And Emefiele funded a lot of his cronies and friends and allies with the CBN rate of 350. And so there was a lot of stench in the system. Some people that shouldn't have had any business getting rich suddenly got rich, and the economy was brought into disarray. Would you prefer that to continue? Or do you want a situation where we have a CBN governor now that realizes that we must harmonize, we must regularize? Some people cannot be getting it for 350 and others 750. Let's find a balance in a way that even our investors, a lot of foreigners that believe in Nigeria, want to come to Nigeria, want to invest in Nigeria, can make a good deal of their investment. They will be able to do the thing they need to do here, and when they repatriate the funds, they know at what rate. We knew what operated at that time. So looking at 2024, from January to December, I would say that the reason why this government would have come up with that acronym, Restore Hope, is because they knew that a lot of us have lost hope, including me. But as a TV journalist and a business entrepreneur, I asked myself, if you lose hope, why are you leaving? We must be expectant. And for us to be expectant, Nigerians are saying, Mr. President, you want us to keep hope alive? Yes. But our leaders, your ministers, your special advisors, your governors, National Assembly members, are they leading by example? Are they cutting their cloth according to what they have, not according to their size?
Yeah. All right, let me come in there because
Yeah.
I like that you talked about the fact that when we were enjoying, and put it that way, 750 naira to $1, there were a few people who were benefiting
From that.
unfairly from that. So corruption. How would you assess corruption under that, tenure, under now? Because the same complaint, even though in a different guise, with cut your coat according to your cloth, asking the people to tighten their belts, but it's not reflective in governance. And that's why perhaps some people still feel hopeless, because the center is not reflective of the reality of the people. We're still budgeting money to build new houses, buy new cars for government officials. Do you think that this administration should trim its own cloth?
Very, 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 very key, Ayo. I'll take
how
that
do we
question.
inspire hope in people?
Yes,
under
yes.
this climate?
The easiest way to inspire hope in people as a psychologist, which was the first thing I studied in university, is for you yourself, that is telling people to be hopeful, to lead by example. So you are more than right to say that those in government, are they showing us this good example of leading by example? Let me tell you what happened a few days ago. I was coming from Abuja, and on the plane, I saw a good colleague of mine, Hadiza Bala Usman, enter the plane.
About this government?
Yes, part of this government, actually special advisor on project monitoring and assessment. And she went straight to the economy class. I was impressed. She didn't see me where I sat. I was in the economy. When I looked up, I wasn't sure it was Adiza. I turned, and after we got to Lagos, I went to her. I said, Adiza, we need more of those in government to do this. While I was in government, I didn't fly business class. I would tell my protocol lady, the people flying economy, they are the same like me. And we're getting to the same destination at the same time. All right, business class for me. Because it's government money. I said, okay, mommy. And she will buy me economy. So we have always been saying it. I've had it even on this platform. A very good job you're doing here. Letting Nigerians know that our leaders need to lead by example. They say restore hope, restore hope. Nigerians are ready to restore hope. But they are the ones that will bring that hope to us.
Okay.
You take it from there, Ruben.
Do you think that what the president did inspires confidence? At the time Nigerians were suffering, he went to buy big private jet, $150 million. In fact, he couldn't even account for it to the National Assembly. A lot of frivolous spending by the presidency. Do you think that inspires hope? Do you think the leader of this country inspires hope? You were berating the Emefiele days. This was the same government that reminded us, that told us that the fair value of the Naira is 700. Today is 17. When he came in, he has also increased inflation. So do you think people can be hopeful when somebody took inflation from over 20% to 34.6% and is still promising us next year that inflation is going to be 15%? But I want you to talk, is the action of the leader representing Tinubu, is he right? At the time the country is suffering, going to buy 150 million private jets, and he bought it through the back door until when it was revealed that they had actually bought the jet without the consent of Nigeria. Eyinaya Abari said he didn't come to the National Assembly. Is that what a leader should do in a time of crisis? To satisfy his own luxury?
I get your point.
Is it good?
It's not good.
Yoruba
will say, nǹkan tí ò dá, kò lórúkọ méjì, kò dá ló dá ni.
Okay.
It's not good. But why I would say it's not good is the fact that, yes, a lot of Nigerians are referring to this, even if you did not say that.
Yeah.
One of them still came to me at home yesterday to say, mommy, ẹ máa sọ pé ká restore hope, ẹ máa sọ wípé ká ní sùúrù, ẹ máa sọ wípé the government is doing well. Jẹ́ẹ̀tì, mommy, ẹ mọye tó jẹ́. So you have a point. But the point I want to make is the fact that we have a president that is very, very responsive. as soon as he listens and taps the pulse of Nigerians, hearing them condemn this, I am sure he would definitely want to do something
But he has not done
positive.
anything since
I
then.
will tell you what he has done that I know.
Okay.
I knew you said tell me that he has not done anything. I'll tell you. The proceeds from fuel subsidy, because I have a direct working relationship with the education ministry, being a TV journalist, and I often go to the parastatals under the education ministry. They've always promised us, oh, the proceeds will be for education, will be for infrastructure, will be. I made inquiry. And I engaged the chief executive, we call him executive secretary of TED Fund, a few weeks ago, Architect Sonny Echono. And he said, Madam, I won't even tell you anything. If you're in the media, bring your TV crew, go to specific universities in Nigeria to see what we are doing. That he got here to block loopholes. There had been a lot of loopholes before President Bola Tinubu's administration. And the president gave him a matching order that some of the proceeds from this fuel subsidy must go to education. I don't want any of my children. I'm quoting him the way he told me. President told him he doesn't want any of his children not be able to go to school because their parents are poor. Believe you me, something is happening in that angle.
No,
but I don't subscribe to the fund being diverted for presidential jet. I think we have enough.
Other things too. The fact that he pretty much he has wrecked the economy with his two policies, and he feels no remorse. In his presidential side, he said there's nothing he will have done at the expense of the suffering people. Today, inflation is 34%, and the leader feels no remorse about that. He says we are trying to bring Efokobale. We're not seeing anything. So even the so-called saving they say they make for fuel subsidy, do you know that they've substituted that with a lot of debts? He came in with 87 trillion debt. He's taking 134 trillion debt, and we have not seen the impact. He went against the grain of people to go and do his coastal road. I mean, and you say he listens to people. He listens to himself. That's what people are saying.
Well, Rufai,
Yes,
I must quickly say something that yes, your points are germane. And as I said, when points are real, there's no point beating about the bush on it. But I must also say that the way to get it right, and that's why I said we don't have genuine love for one another. We're talking about the president. The president must take decisive action to cut excesses of his operatives.
I will return to the original subject.
And what is the subject again?
Yeah, the original subject is your review of the year 2024.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Okay. So moving. Oh, you want me? Okay, let me listen to you.
An assessment of presidential media chart. Now, you said Hadiza Bala Usman. You saw her in economy. You were praising her. Maybe business class was full by the time she booked the flight. And then she had no option, and she had urgent business in Lagos. No, let's put things in context.
Let me listen, then I'll respond.
Anyway, and as for education and all of that, yes, the president said he's plugging leakages. But the bigger thing that he talked about has been NEL Fund, these students' loans, the students' loan scheme. I hope Nigerians will take that seriously so that there's enough equity in that regard.
Really?
But I ask you about your own sector, the tourism sector. We have hosted about 2, 3, 4, 5 persons, on this session in the last 2 weeks about tourism. So tell us about your sector. How it's thriving. We even had a lady who came here and was talking about South Africa. How South Africa is a good destination. But we thank God at Christmas, all the hotels are fully booked, all the holiday resorts are fully booked.
I'm glad you know.
Presenting us with an irony. Tell us about how your sector is doing.
Thank you very much, Ruben. Talking of my sector, yes, all our hotels are fully booked at the Christmas period. Which shows high traffic of people coming into Nigeria. But I've always advocated for domestic tourism promotion. While I was there as DG, all I did was doggedly promoting domestic tourism. That was when we had Arugungu Fishing Festival as a flagship in Benin Kebbi. That was when we had Black Heritage Festival as a flagship in Lagos State. That was when we had Oshun Oshogbo Festival, flagship in Oshun State. The Durbar Festival became a big revenue earner for Nigeria. From the northern areas in Sokoto, in Bono, in what do you call it now? Kaduna, Kano. These were the places I visited to talk with their governors and see how we can partner together to boost tourism. What has happened to all that now? Because I knew how much revenue Nigeria generated from this sector at that time, because I worked closely with the National Bureau of Statistics. The chief executive and I were comparing notes doggedly. So what is going on now? I believe that tourism can thrive when our state governors decisively take tourism seriously. At the time I was chief executive, not all the governors were ready, but I didn't allow that to deter me.